My general approach to anything that I take on is to do a lot of research, do a lot of reading, then I build a lot of tools, and then I actually start doing anything. And so one of the most important tools I think any pyro can have is a decent library. When I started looking at actually building things, I came across a couple stumbling blocks. The first one is one almost all beginning pyros hit, which is black powder. I mean, almost everything you want to make requires meal D or 2FA, and you find out that you cannot go to the local hardware store and buy this stuff. So I needed to be able to make black powder now. But you need a couple things. You need good charcoal, and you need a ball mill. Fortunately, the American Fireworks News came to my rescue there by publishing Lloyd Spangenberg's articles on building a ball mill. I took those articles and then started building as soon as there was enough information out there to do it. And the result was this little guy. That's a Lloyd Spangenberg ball mill. This mill, using the ceramic media, will take the fertilizer grade prills down into a fine powder in under half an hour. As I say, it's an extremely efficient mill. So I now had powder. I was able to make my own powder. I've been extremely happy with the quality of it. And so what I wanted to make was some rockets. So I built me a rocket press. This is a rocket press. Next thing we wanted to do is my friend and partner in crime in Pyro, Mark Mara, wanted to make Roman candles. So we scratched our heads for a little while and looked around and at Lancaster, some of the other books, and that gave rise to this little guy. This is our candle press. Okay, so at that point we were able to make candles, and Mark's candles work really quite nicely. Rockets, comets, all sorts of good things. We use the presses for making comets. You can spend lots of money or lots of time if you have the machinery making tooling to use with a press. This is a star pump for making 2-inch comets. Okay, so then I decided I wanted to make shells, and shells need stars. This is as Phil said, it's a design by Jack Fielder. The thing that makes it truly wonderful is that rather than just rotate like a cement mixer or something like that, the drive down here, if you look at the end of it, you notice it's off center. It's eccentric by about 1/8 of an inch. And so what that does is when we turn it on, the whole thing jiggles. And that is the brilliance of this design. So that's where I've gotten to so far with my pyro tooling.
Some of the reasons I like fountains is they're a great way for people to start into manufacturing pyrotechnic devices. And what I'm going to do is start forming the bottom nozzle. And I find about 3 reasonable spoonfuls. So put your thing more or less over the leg of the table. That'll help make it, you won't get bounce, bounce, bounce as you do it. You get yourself a nice non-sparking mallet. And one thing you start doing is developing repeatable habits. If you want to get good consistent fountains, you start doing it consistently. So I always use 8 blows for the first clay plug. And there's the clay plug. Now, as I said, I want to ram in some composition that'll act as a buffer. Okay, now this last little bit here, you tap it gently to get the clay to settle. You'll see the clay settling down, and there's the completed 2 ends of the fountain. Then the final step is to take the hot melt glue gun, which we'll have, and you just glue it to a base, and there's your fountain. And that's pretty quick.